Hi everyone! My name is Becca and I created the channel Beck's Beauty because I wanted to share my love and passion for makeup with you guys. So today my first video is going to be about a definitely very affordable brand and one you can get some great quality makeup brushes from. And so today we're going to be talking about e.l.f. brushes. So I have a couple face products or face brushes and then also a couple of eye brushes to share with you guys. Today we're just going to start with the face brushes, and the first one is the e.l.f. Complexion Brush. This is like a paddle brush. It starts at the ferrule, gets a little bit wider, and then tapers off at the top. And then it's a paddle brush, and the ferrule, it's a little bit more pinched. So it's pinched, it goes a little bit wider, and tapers along the side as well. So great for buffing in some powder foundation, but it also is good for getting in there and warming up the cheeks or adding blush. So if you're on a budget and you can only spend on a couple brushes, this is definitely a must-have because you can go from going in with some powder foundation to bronzer and blush. Definitely a great multi-purpose brush. It's synthetic. All these brushes are synthetic and they're from the Studio line. So depending on what time of year you get them or what sale is going on at the current time, they'll probably range anywhere from $3 to $6 depending on the brush as well. So my next brush is the e.l.f. Face Kabuki brush. I have two of these. I can't wait to break into this one. I'm going to take this one to school with me though, the nice new clean one, and then leave this here at home so that when I come home on the weekend I can still use and put on some makeup. This brush is a kabuki style brush. It's very soft. It's a little bit more densely packed than the complexion brush. It's a kabuki style brush. It's great. It's very dense, so it's going to pack on a lot of product. Not in a cakey way, but in a more, it's going to give you a higher coverage than the complexion brush because it is more densely packed. So it's great for getting a better coverage out of your powder foundations. Definitely a great brush. This one, I'm like fairly certain is $6, but e.l.f. has sales all the time. So definitely wait for a sale and then pick this bad boy up. The next face brush is this e.l.f. powder brush. This is great if you don't want to spend the money on, say, a Sigma flat top kabuki. This is definitely a great alternative. It's your dense flat top kabuki. It definitely has a wider surface area than the Sigma brushes, but it's great at buffing in. So if you had like a liquid foundation, great for that. It is great at buffing in things. You could still use it definitely for powder foundation. It has a wide variety of uses. It's a great brush. The last face brush, nope, just kidding, it's not the last one. The next face brush we're going to talk about is the e.l.f. Small Stipple brush. This is a duo fiber brush with the smaller or the shorter black hairs, and then the white hairs are longer and definitely more spread out and not very densely packed in there. You can see like all the spaces in between them. This I don't get as much use out of as the other brushes. It's a great brush, but because it is great and it really aims toward cream products, like if you're going to buff in a cream blush or dab on the top of your cheekbones a cream highlighter, for that reason I don't get a super ton of use out of it because I don't use cream products very often, or at least cream cheek products. It's a great brush, but if you're on a budget, I don't necessarily think you shouldn't get it, but I would definitely go toward maybe a different brush that has more uses and that you're going to get more use out of than spending $3 on this brush and not nearly using it as much. But you know, if you're a makeup guru and you love to have everything you can get your hands on, this is a great brush. Now our last face brush. And if you're curious about the makeup look I'm wearing in this video, I will be filming a tutorial on it, so just stay tuned. I'm not exactly sure when it will go up, but I am planning on filming it. So the last face brush we have is the e.l.f. Blush Brush. It is a smaller brush. It is definitely tapered and comes to a slight point at the top. Not a sharp point, just kind of like a rounded point. This I wouldn't necessarily think of as a blush brush because it is quite small, and because of that point it can kind of be a little bit awkward to put on blush with, but it is great for setting under the eyes, putting on some highlight on top of the cheeks, and it is particularly good for highlighting because it does come to that little rounded point at the top, so you can be very precise as to where you put your highlight. So a great brush, many uses, definitely something you should check out. And then for eye brushes, we're going to start with my favorite one because, yeah, we're going to. This is the e.l.f. blending brush. And this is basically the exact same as the complexion brush. It's a paddle brush, it's just like a mini size. So it is wider, or it starts at the ferrule, gets a little bit wider, and then tapers off at the top. And then if you look at the side, it is like a little bit pinched at the ferrule and then fluffs out from there. So this is great for your crease. You can use it either up and down, like so, or you can flip it to the side. Either way, flipping it to the side might give you a little bit more precision in your crease, but you can definitely go up and down and get a little bit more like a windshield wiper effect and blow out your crease and diffuse it a little bit more. Love this brush. Use it every time I put on eye makeup. A great brush. Definitely a great brush. This next one is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. This one is kind of like a kabuki style brush, but it's small. So it's a round top, like very dense brush. I don't know if I would technically use it for concealer. I've tried it and it's not my favorite way to put on my concealer, but it does the job. So if you're like looking for a cheaper brush to blend out your concealer, this one will do the job. It's just not my particular favorite use for the product. So this one I like to, you can buff out concealer, you can be a little bit more precise and buff it in, or like swirl it in your powder and then set your concealer with it. It would be a little bit more precise than setting your concealer with this brush. Or another great use would be for blending out a crease color. I wouldn't necessarily use this as like a blending brush at the end of your makeup look and then you want to buff out everything and make sure that there's no harsh lines. That would be a little bit difficult because I feel like it would almost buff all your products together. This I think would be great for if you're doing that first transition color, that first crease color, and you want to blend it out and diffuse it really well so there's no harsh lines. That would be a great use for this product. The next one is the e.l.f. Duo Eyebrow Brush. It has a little short spoolie on this end and then an angled liner or brow brush at this end. It is great. It's very densely packed and the point is not too flimsy. It's pretty firm. So you could use this as an eyebrow brush to put on powder in your brows, or you could even use it for gel liner. This is a great brush. I love this brush. The next one is the e.l.f. Crease Brush. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but these are all from the Studio line, I believe, right? Whatever the one is that's a little bit more expensive, and like they're not like the $1 brushes, and they have the black handle instead of the white one. And these are synthetic, and the other ones are like goat hair or whatever, like natural hair. So, got off topic. Sorry about that tangent. So this one would be great for kind of doing a crease color that you want to have a little bit more focus and not blend it out as much, but keep it more intense to like darken up the eye look. This would also be great for the outside corner or the outer V. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like over here with the eye brushes, but obviously I got some glasses on today. I got new ones and I'm just like obsessed with them, sorry. So this is a great brush. It does come to a slight point at the top, but nothing you can't work with. Still blends the product out well. I have cleaned this once, or one of these because I have two, and none of these brushes shed. And I'm sorry, they're all dirty. Pardon my dirty brushes. I need to clean them, but I hate cleaning brushes. So this last one is called the e.l.f. Concealer Brush. I don't particularly use it for concealer. I use it as a small shader brush because that's what it is. But this is a great brush to pack on the shadow on the lid. It can also be great to put on the inner corner highlight because it's like a perfect size. It's a great little shader brush. It's very densely packed with hairs, and it has a little bit of give to it, but not too much. It packs on that shadow perfectly. A great brush. If I were to say, like, you're on a budget, you can get 3 brushes and that's it, I would go with the e.l.f. blending brush, because if you're going to do eye makeup, you definitely need something to help blend out your shadows. And then this for the concealer brush for packing on shadow onto your lid or your inner corner highlight or your brow bone highlight. And then for the face, I would definitely go with the e.l.f. complexion brush, because I think because it's such a multifaceted brush and it has so many uses, it's a great brush because you can get your money's worth out of it. You can use it for more than one individual step. So definitely, if you're looking for just one face brush and you don't have money to spend on a whole slew of face brushes, this one definitely takes the cake because it can do so many things for you. So you don't have to worry about getting all those other brushes to do all the different things that you need on your face. So if you're just new to e.l.f., if you're on a budget, if you want to get some new makeup brushes, I definitely suggest these 3. So thanks for watching. Check out my next video and please subscribe and comment down below.